All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of the world, you of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell. I can see right now that there's a lot of people out there. They have a lot of concern, especially what's happening in the silver market. And as a pastor, I try to be a pastor that has a balance. I'm trying to stay, well-rounded. To try to inform you, the people out there, the things that you would never ever hear, especially when you go to your churches out there. I try to be a pastor that is going to speak to you person to person, face to face, and not like some stage player or something trying to present myself something that I'm not, but just a down to earth guy, and try to bring you sound wisdom and advice. So if I can speak to you and get you to understand truth, no matter what way that truth may be. If I can get you to see truth and understand truth in very simple and layman's terms, and your understanding is open, then I've done my job. Now, when you're talking about this silver, and I hear, a few times, I've heard a few times on YouTube about how that they've been fooling around and raising the margin requirements again on silver. Now, let me again try to bring this to you in a very easy way to understand, as simple as I can. If you're in paper, and that means ETFs, IRAs, stocks, bonds, treasuries, mutual funds, CDs, you're going to lose. You're going to really, truly lose. I mean, you cannot make any money from a country that is bankrupt. And so you're going to have to change the way that you think and change the way that you do things. The physical metals market is what drives the price of silver, not the paper. And you got to understand, when we listen to some of the people that talk about silver, there was a guy on here that flat out told us that silver is sold 16 years into the future. And see, this is why that you need physical. Because, silver is going to continue to keep going higher and higher and higher. So the federal government and the banksters, they're doing everything they can because they got a serious scare coming to them. I mean, silver's flirting right at that all-time high, that $50 mark. And these people are just not ready to actually call it quits. So they're going to do everything they can to suppress the market, manipulate the market, and to keep you scared half to death. That is the reason why that when we get on here and we talk here on YouTube, we talk from a different perspective than what people are accustomed to. Out there they speak from the perspective, from SLV and GLD, the paper market, or the ETFs, unless you're in a situation like somebody like Eric Sprott, that you can back up every ounce of silver with physical and stuff. There's no way that I would fool with any type of contracts that these people are putting down. These people are doing everything they can to provide scare tactics to you, and they're doing everything that they can to try to force people to sell their physical silver. And you have to also understand that, when you're dealing with silver is unique within itself because, silver is not a commodity in the sense like oil, wheat, corn, sugar, if you understand what I mean. That's why, you need physical in your hand, because every single time that you buy 1 ounce of silver, now, just as well as I do, that it's going to take us collectively as a whole buying this, because I don't have $200,000 to throw down on a silver contract. I just don't have it. I don't have $300,000, $100,000 to do that. But all of us collectively together, every single time that we buy silver, we're taking physical silver out of circulation, and these pigs that have actually sold these silver contracts into the future 16 years. There's no way that they can meet that requirement when these people start demanding their contracts to be called upon. And of course, it's always a clause in those contracts that they can pay them out in the payable funds or the funds that is in exchange, whether it be worthless dollars or whatever medium of exchange that they use. But I can tell you this, that paper is not liquidity. Paper is stupidity. That's exactly what it is. So, you know, people have a problem with you having physical, but when you have an understanding of what's going on, and especially when they're trying to scare you half to death with the volatility that's going on in the market, stay the course. Stay the course. Because we do win. We do win. And again, to answer all these people who believe that they understand what the Bible says, when it says that they're going to throw their gold and silvers in the streets, but there's a time frame that they're going to throw their gold and silver in the streets. That's at the coming of the day of the Lord, as the King James Bible says. Up until that point, gold and silver has always been God's money, and it always will be, because it comes from the very earth that he made himself. It's been money for a long, long time, way before you and I got here, and it'll be money long after. And that's just the truth, and that's just the truth straight way. I hope that some way, somehow, I've been able to help you out. One more thing. Understanding on these contracts. See, for every 100 contracts, there's only one contract worth of bars that they actually have, the Comex does, physically in their little grubby, nasty, defiled, selfish, sorry, greedy little hands. And there's no way that they can fulfill the silver requirement. So the rules of engagement is that we continue to keep buying silver. And see, now it's a buying opportunity. It's a buying opportunity because, it's getting out of touch for the common man at $49, $50, and then AppMex and them $5 over spot for one coin. But when it starts dropping like this, that's letting you know that that the Federal Reserve, the government, along with the banksters, they're doing everything they can to suppress the markets. So that your mindset should be, okay, now it's time to purchase. You should have the type of mindset that if silver drops to $5 an ounce, you should be blessed. You should be dancing in your front yard. And you should be thanking God that it does, because that allows you to take that much more physical off of the market, out of the public sector, so that these pigs can't get their greedy little hands on it. And then when it's time to cash this thing in, they have to come to the private sector to get it. And then by that time, silver's going to be worth so much that you'll be willing to whatever they want to trade it for, whatever dollars or whatever medium of currency or exchange that they use, money or whatever, for whatever goods and services you like. You see, that's how you need to start thinking about this. And I'm struggling here trying to find just simple words to get us to understand that every time you take silver out of the public, every time you take it and you keep and you store it up for yourself, you're storing up wealth for yourself. That a lot of people are simply just going to miss the boat. We have the greatest transfer of wealth that's getting ready to take place in the history of man. All these rich people who are in nothing but dollars and who are in nothing but paper, they're going to lose, and they're going to lose royal. But all of you people out there, if you have 10 ounces of silver, you're doing better than 99.9% of the people in the entire world. And that is the truth. So we have to look at this long term, not just short term. At times, you don't even worry about or care about what silver doing. Just whatever they're asking for it right now is not over $100. Just pick it up. Pick it up and buy it. And know that you're storing up wealth. After all, if you're a righteous individual, should you not be storing up wealth for your children and their children's children? Should you not be doing that? Sure you should. So this is what it's all about. It's about using sense. Remember, it's about physical. Do you have physical? That's all I've got to say. I hope that some way, somehow, that this has been able to bless your soul.